Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What is the Monday painting video? What's it all about? Well, the Monday painting video is essentially a painting video, but the model or models in question are voted on by you guys, my viewers, from last week's Weekly Wednesday, which is a weekly Q&A. In that video, I show you a host of models and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for this Monday's painting video. In the event of a tie, I do a dice roll. But this week, Space Marine Captain with Jump Pack. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so before I get into this model, I've done a Let's Build video on Sisters. Okay, now at the moment I went to edit the video and for whatever reason it wasn't allowing me to edit it. I have it running now, trying to edit it. I edit it up ready and just wait for it to export as one video. Hopefully it's going to be done by the time I get in, and then I can set it on the timer and then I can upload this guy. If not, and it does the same trick again, I'll try and get this guy uploaded Monday as normal. But if not, this guy will go up Tuesday, and then I'll still keep pressing with the Sisters. I don't know why it's doing that. I thought maybe it needs an update, but it hasn't prompted me for any of that, so I don't really know. But anyway, this is a fantastic model. There was 2 votes, one for him and one for any Space Marine. So points of interest on this model is there's so many. He's got a lovely firearm. He's got a massive power fist with nice emblems and stuff on the back. He's got a cloak that comes off. Even the bit he's standing on is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to start with some Euphon Grey. I'm going to start applying my Space Marine chapter colour on him. I'm going to show you a little bit of this and go off and do the rest off camera. So I'm going to do a thin coat as I can. Just all the bits that are going to be, maybe you've got the wrong brush here. Just keep going with this for now. Yeah, I think I need to change brush. Right, so I gave it a couple of thin coats. I gave a couple of thin coats onto the cloak as well. Now I'm going to come in with some Eshin Grey. This is a very simple step. I'm going to get all the stonework underneath the model itself. Now there is little metal spikes sticking out of the stone. I'm not going to get those because I'm going to come in with some silver for those. Now I'm going to come with some lead belcher. It's a very simple step. The first thing I'm going to do is give his weapon a little bit of colour. It's a plasma type weapon. I should have probably got some Euphon Grey in that in the middle part of the gun there. What other metal parts do I need to do? Inside here. Do some joint lines, so I say, where the power armor joins like kneecaps and the legs and all that sort of stuff just in there. Don't see any on the arms, which is nice. Just realised he's got a rope around his chest. looks like a rope. What might be a string of bullets, but no, it's a rope. So just in here, I've got the back of the leg bit there. Don't see any more. Suppose I can get that little bit there. Before I get too carried away, let's get the corn red on. Now corn red's going to be on this side for me. That's my Space Marine colours. When I put this colour on, the model's going to really pop then. Before I do any highlights on it or anything, it will really pop. You see the way that I'm doing the fingers. I'm not painting the fingers across that way. I'm coming down, so it's going to leave the darkness in between them, and leave the black undercoat between the joins of it. So let's make it stand out even more. So I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of the corn red. It does pop very, very quickly. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to Leadbelcher, because there's a few bits that I can see a bit more clearly now. Like he has a little pipe coming off the chainsaw, power fist, sorry, there. There's a little bit in the palm of his hand there. I think there's sort of something on the back of the leg there. I can get in and get a bit more on that, so I can see exactly how light and how dark it actually is. And I've got to get the, of course I did, the little bits of rebar sticking out of the rock that he's flying over or jumping off of. It's still hanging off of him there. Absolutely lovely. It's a beautiful sculpt. It really is. Like the next colour I'm going to come in with is some Bugman's Glow. And what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to water it down, really, really water it down. I want it more like a wash. I'm just going to slap it. See how watered down that is? It's just going on and just running off. I'll spread that across the face. You're going to look at it and think, oh, I don't know where you're going with this, John. Trust me, I've done this process before. It's very, very easy. He does have a bionic eye, I think. But you can see how thin that is, how much I've watered that down. Okay, so it just gives it a base texture of the colour. Right, so now I'm going to come with some Retributor and I'm going to pick out everything that I want to be a gold colour. First we'll start with Aquila. I get the outside of this shoulder pad. A little symbol on the back of his fist. The knuckles as well. The symbol on his back, or his jump pack. I'm just giving it a quick once so you know where I'm going to go. This whole shoulder pad, because it all has stuff on it. I'll get his belt as well. Have a nice gold belt because he's a captain. I'm going to get his shield as well. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and do, oh, and this one here as well on his leg. So I'm going to do all those and then come back to you again. Right, so there we are. Now I'm going to come in with some Rhinoxide, and this is only a tiny little piece I'm going to do with this. He has a gun pouch here, and then off of him. So I'm going to quickly give that a paint down. I'm actually going to get the rope as well. I think when I come in with a dry brush on that little rope, it's going to really pop off nicely. Right, so it's looking good. What I'm going to do now is come in with some Screaming Skull, and I'm going to start lowering up all this Youth and Grey. The reason I go with Youth and Grey first of all is because it gives me a nice base coat to go and start with, because my chapter colours are the Screaming Skull and the Corn Red. It's going to take me a couple of thin coats across this. So I'm not going to do it all on camera. I'm going to do some of it here. And I'm going to go off camera and do the rest. Right, so I'm giving it a couple of coats of the Screaming Skull. So leave that to dry for a minute. Then we'll come back to the next bit. Right, so as I was interrupted there. Right, so that's all dry. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with some Bugman's Glow, okay, and some Cadian Flesh Tone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet it together on the wet palette and just make it so it's really a watery mix between the two. So basically the Bugman's Glow is going to come through, but it's going to be very, very lighter. Well, sorry, not very, very much lighter. So paint off that brush. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over, just push it into the face. Now he does have a little bionic eye there, so I'm going to try to just leave that as is. It looks a little bit weird now, but as it dries, it's going to really pop off nicely. Right. So I'm then going to come in with some Screaming Skull. Okay, and I'm going to get his purity seals. Got all these sort of sashes hanging down. These are part of his purity seals. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with some white scars. And I'm going to come across the cloak. I want to get the raised areas as much as I can. and the bottom part of it. Right, so next I'm going to come in with some Eldari Emerald contrast paint. It's a very easy thing that I'm going to do now. Now the cloak, where I put the white into it, when I put this on, it should give me some really nice highlights without actually having to do very much. So just put it on all the white, all of the cloak, and the white should really shine through brighter. With the cloak, this colour is going to really break the model up. Next I'm going to come with some Talazar blue. And this is just for one bit only, which is this Pleasant Pistol bit here. So all the youth and grey I painted in there, I'm just going to paint that over. So even when I paint it onto the metal of the weapon, I'm going to carry on with that with the Talazar blue onto it to give me like a little sort of light effect. Very nice. And next colour I'm going to go for is some Lothern blue. Now this is going to be very simple. This is going to be for his purity seals. And the reason I do the purity seals with the blue and not the red as normal is because of the red on the model. I think if I do red purity seals, you're not going to be able to see them that much. At least this way now, they do stand out really well. So the next colour I'm going to use is some Moot Green. I don't want too much on this, I just want a little bit. And I'm coming in for his Bionic Eye. So now that really stands out. Now I said I'll wait for a few minutes for that all to dry. Right, so now I'm going to come in with some Cadian Flesh Tone on its own, and I'm not going to do anything crazy. I just want to get a little bit here and there on his face, just to break it up a little bit more. Very nice. Now, for all intensive purposes, apart from contrast paint waiting to dry, this guy is battle ready. Now, what that means is, for everyone that's new, I can put him on the table and away we go. Not a problem. But what I'm going to do now is take it beyond battle ready standard. What does that mean? That means I'm going to take it so it's just a little bit extra. This could be a dry brush, could be an edge highlight, could be contrast paint, could be a shade, could be technical paint, could be dry paint, could be like a layer paint, like, you know, White Scars, that's a layer paint, just to highlight certain areas up. You know, that's a general gist of it, trying to make it just spruce up a little bit more. So I'm going to wait a few minutes for that to dry properly, and then I'm going to come back with taking this beyond battle ready. So the first colour I'm going to come in with is some Moot Green, and the only technique I forgot to say was wet blend, and I'm going to take some moot green, and I am going to wet blend it in with the contrast paint, but I don't want to get the whole thing. I just want to get a little bit, just to give you a little subtle hint of a lighter green. And I'm going to get it just along these raised bits. It looks a little bit weird at the moment, but as it dries it'll look lovely. Get the edges of this as well. Again, I'm not going for a full coverage, I'm just going for a little bit of a coverage. Now wet blend, what that means, the contrast paint underneath is still wet. So it's having the wet paint on a model and then coming in at another colour, so they blend them together. So instead of having two flat colours, we're going to have two colours that blend from one dark one to one lighter one, nice and easy. Now I could have waited for that to fully dry and then come in with some Niblet green. Done the same sort of thing, but sort of dry brushed it. But I thought, no, let me try that with the wet blend. So I've done a wet blend for a little while now. Next, I'm going to come in with some Waystacker Red. This is a layer paint, and this colour here, I love this colour on the corn red. I'm going to add it over the corn red, but I don't want to get every single part of the corn red. I just want to put it on there just to give me a highlight, so that on the hands here I actually want to come down very carefully, just get a little bit of it. Same on the hands here. Now it looks weird, but as it dries off you'll see the result, and it looks absolutely fantastic when it's dry. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some white scars and some Cadian Flesh Tone, and I'm going to mix a little bit of that together on my wet palette to basically give me Cadian Flesh Tone, but just a lighter version of it. I don't need too much of it either. And what I'm going to do is come in again on the face, just pick out a little bit here and there. Just to give me different flesh tone. Now I'm going to take my big brush, take a bit of tissue, and then come in with some Screaming Skull. Okay, and then I put some on my brush, put it on my tissue, brush as much of it as possible. I'm going to come in and just give this a dry brush. And the Screaming Skull is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. So don't panic if you put it on and go, oh, it's too much. And what I'm going to do is carefully give this rope a dry brush. And he's got a leather pouch in here. Again, give that a little bit of a touch up here and there. Now I'm going to come in with some white scars. I'm throwing the paint everywhere. Some white scars. Something I'm going to attempt now, which I don't normally do. A tiny bit of paint on the brush. And I'm going to try and just brush in without knocking the camera. his teeth. I don't think I've got it that well because he's only got his mouth open a little touch. But anyway, same colour again. I'm going to water it right down. And I'm just going to drip it into here. Into his plasma pistol, just to give it a bit of illumination. Take a little bit, it's still watered down on my brush. Let's try and just... Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I saw a technique, someone done this. What they do is they wet the brush and see like the cracks and crevices on the stone. Put a little bit of water into it. It's a bit too much. Hope the camera can pick it up so see how wet it is and shiny. Take a little bit of white paint and it should just flow into the recesses of it. There we go. It's a very easy technique. Let's do it on this side now. Because this side actually has a few more cracks and crevices. I'm going to come in with some white. Just want to get up close so you can see. But it goes out of focus, I am sorry, because I'm just looking at the model on the camera. I saw it actually on something Necron, I can't remember what it is now, where they put the white into it and the green, the moot green, and it just filled all the little recesses. It looked actually amazing. Now this guy is finished. There's one more thing I want to do with him, and let's put some tufts onto him. This is Wall Painted Scenics. But as you can see, there's loads of different tufts. For those who don't know what tufts are, they're basically, each one of these circles is a blob of glue with some sort of foliage on it. So you can see there's nice little purple flowers on there. There's nice little tufts there. There's stag grass. You know, there's this, look at that. There's so many different types in here. And I think the purple one, will look good on his base. So what we do, see there's a purple and a white one. I think one of each of them look good. So what you do, you peel it off. There's a sticky bit there. Just push it on. It's now stuck. You can put a little bit of super glue if you want, or you can get some like hairspray and just gently give that a hairspray, and that'll make it all stand proper static. I do have tweezers. I can't really get on with them because my hands are just gigantic. Again, there's a sticky side. Stick that in there, like so. You can always use the tweezers just to spruce up a little bit if you need to. You're meant to use these to take them off, but I just can't get on with these. I think that it might be a bit too much, I don't know, but I think it looks cool. And I always forget that I have these tufts. I've had them just over a year now. I should actually be actually a year and a half. I think I've had them. I should actually be use them a bit more often. But I don't want to use them on just rank and file troops because I think it's a bit of waste. I think characters and stuff should be the way forward. It's a little bit more dynamic to the model's base, especially for this guy because he's jumping through the air basically. See, one more thing I need to do actually, I've just totally forgot about. I'm gonna take some. Is this skeleton horde I want? No, it's not. I think it's Agrax Earthshade. Version camera shade to do. I know it's Earthshade. Agrax Earthshade. This is a shade. And what I'm going to do with this colour is I'm going to wash all of this Screaming Skull with it on these Purity Sealed scrolls. Just to darken them down a little bit. Now he is done. So if you're new to the channel, guys, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video with more people, which makes this incredible growing community of you guys grow even more. Any comments about this model, the way it's painted, the tufts, anything, chuck comments below as always, guys. Thank you to everyone who voted. Even if you voted for a model and didn't win this time, don't panic because it all needs to be painted. Thank you all for watching. Hit the buttons for me, guys. Until next time, take it easy.